Yo everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to my games during week 16 of the Geoguessr World League. I was against Pan, Mu, and Gingey this week. And yeah, let's get into it. And starting off in Brazil here. I get to this sign, nothing too useful. This sign also had nothing useful. I didn't read it fully, but I feel like those signs never say anything. Sometimes they say the road number if it's like a road construction sign in a similar format, but yeah, I go back to spawn with the checkpoint set up, and then I head back this way, and then we get to the or 3, 2, 1. And I look for that, but unable to find it. Also, sorry for the lighting on my camera. Yeah, it was like about to go nighttime, so I was like, surely the sun's gonna be down enough by the time, so I didn't bother doing the blind, but or the curtain, but yeah. Yeah, it was actually a tiny white road, like this white road here, south of Pedra Pintada, is the or 321, but yeah, never find that, so we both clicked at Tempo Vista. No points there. Then we get a Philippines round. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe there was info on this lock, but yeah, I feel like there wasn't. Like, I'm not sure when you're getting info on this road in 30 seconds. I mean, also the movement is quite slow. There was a sign there, but I don't think there was anything on it. Maybe I trolled by skipping past it. But yeah, I turn around and go the other way. And yeah, don't find anything. I think he full sent this one direction, the direction I sent, or I don't know, maybe he didn't. But yeah, I mean, Philippines then reaching guess, label. You know how it goes. I mean, I was heading for north to be honest, because I thought it could be north. But yeah, good 1500 points. Unfortunately, low multis, but yeah. And then we have a USA round. Looks kind of northern to me, and we get a Michigan thing. And as soon as I see the Michigan sign, I just intercent. Yeah, if he got onto the road, he'd see it, but unfortunately, he didn't get to it in time. Like it's on his screen, but yeah, he just didn't zoom in. And he goes Ontario, Quebec border, which makes sense. Definitely looks quite northern, but yeah, it was a really good start to the duel. Yeah, would have been unfortunate to lose after this, but yeah. We then get a Hungary round. My first thought was Romania, to be honest. It looks quite Romanian. But then I got like the wintry coverage, so I wasn't sure. And then I get Hungarian language, so I'm like, okay, it's probably Hungary then. Unless it's border, because you do get some Hungarian in Romania on the border. But yeah, I then get to something saying Budapest Park. Was it this that says Budapest Park? Yeah, Budapest Park on that. So yeah, we both just clicked Budapest, so I'm gonna skip ahead. Oh, he like started east and then he's clicked Budapest. Yeah, he was maybe trying to think maybe he's gonna send something weird, so I'm gonna send something weird. But yeah, no points there. Then next UK lock looks quite Scottish. We had the antenna, which is quite common on the England-Scotland border, near Dumfries as he zoomed in, and then he sees bigger mountains, so he goes Northumberland area. I got to a passing place line, so I knew we were in Scotland, which was actually kind of useful information. Because what happened was we had like the bigger hills were southwest of us. So I was like, okay, here, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could have been here, but like I thought maybe this area worked with the hills being more west than east. Because they weren't in like massive hills, but we had massive hills west. So I was like, okay, maybe this area works a bit better. As you can see by what I zoom in on. I go here. Because like yeah. And it worked out the bigger hills to the west. But yeah, not enough per game. Very close though, 190 HP. And then I get a dreaded round. Was a little bit scared. Always Urban Russia gonna be scary, even though I know in theory I'd like a Russia, but when you're up 5,800 HP, you don't want a Russia. And yeah. For some reason I don't know where Dorabak or whatever it is at the time is, where that is, but I'm pretty sure it's the north of Abakan one, is it? Where is it? I'm forgetting where that one is, but I knew the other two places. But I couldn't find the third one. But I assumed we were just down to Abakan anyway. But I would have liked to have found the third one. Yeah, I don't know. Where's the other one? Ak Doberak. Where? Sorry for the yap here, but where is Ak Doberak? I'm a bit confused. I just don't see it. Ak Doberak. Oh, it's this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, it's just way further away. But yeah, we had Cyanogorsk and Eskies on the sign as well, which I knew. So yeah, also looks like Abakan to me, but the signs were a nice confirmation for sure. I'm looking for Aktovarak, but I was like, it's probably just downtown anyway. So yeah, he goes Kurgan with the very B, which is valid, but yeah, he tried to catch me off guard with the insta-send, but yeah, we take the win there. And yeah, happy with the movement performance, but yeah, I was definitely more concerned going into the no-move because Pan's relative strength is no-move compared to moving, I would say. Yeah. And then round 1 of the no-move, starting off in Ontario, we've got a diamond sign there, and we've got a closer one here. And we had Indian Road, which was kind of interesting, because like when you see Indian Road, you're thinking, okay, like you know, the old, like the natives, Indians. Well, what Columbus calls them, but yeah. So I was thinking, like, does that mean we're like near a reservation? Does it mean we're more west? Does it mean we're more north? I thought it was just this road, but yeah, Ontario has always been a struggle for me, as you're all aware. But we both go near Sudbury there, so ends up being quite far away, but didn't really matter. It was only a few hundred points. But you know, I'll take the 300, even though I don't really deserve it. Then we get an India round. I thought this was Bengali, but I think in hindsight it wasn't. But we had Northeast India fences, so I was like, okay, I guess that fits. And yeah, I mean, I kind of thought it looked like Jharkhand. But yeah, I'm just looking at the language. I don't know if it was Bengali or not, but if it was in Jharkhand, which I think it was, it shouldn't be Bengali, allegedly. Not 100% certain of that fact, but yeah. I end up going West Bengal, but I'm like clicking towards Jharkhand ever so slightly. I'm like, it kind of looks like Jharkhand, with like the soil and the hilliness fitting it a bit better. But yeah, my guess is not legit, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't language streak, I don't think. But the font it was written kind of looked Hindi to me. This was a really annoying round. I mean, whoever's picking this map, I don't know who it is, but like they're so devious, like the no move map picker, because like they're obviously handpicked blocks. But so this, right? We have a like Southeast Asian fence. I would say a Nusa fence or a Philippines fence, one of the two. But if you look at this motorbike, we have no front plate on the motorbike. And one of the best Southeast Asia metas is that front license plates in Asia, in Southeast Asia, is only Indonesia. So I'm like, okay, it's Indo or Philippines with the fence, but we don't have a front license plate on the motorbike. So I'm going to go Philly. But then it's just Indo. I mean, yeah, I think he probably had the same thought where it looks like Indo. So he went like Malaysia, downtown Indo. I didn't talk to him about that round after. Talked to him about other things, but not that one. But I assume we had the same logic. I mean, if anyone knows differently, because I've probably forgotten that meta, because on most rounds, you don't need the motorbike. But yeah, we have a Kishu pole there. And we have this mountain here. I mean, I maybe could have scanned for the mountain, but I was like, you know, no, it's too hard to find. And I'm probably, like, if I find it, I'm going to just full send the wrong thing anyway, probably. But it's out there. It's by the park northwest of Mia Konoja there. It's like a volcanic park there. But yeah, then we get another Japan round. Pole top, I misremembered, I think. We have a national road. I check Okinawa because we have coast south. He starts in Shikoku, doesn't find it, and then he finds it here. But I didn't even scan here because I thought the pole was the Shikoku kind with this thing. But I think, yeah, no, in hindsight, no, I don't know what I was thinking. It just isn't what I thought it was. But yeah, nice guess from Pan there. Picks up, 2,200 points. I maybe should have hedged more like here because, I mean, here was kind of a bad click, but it's fine. Then we get a Kenya round. And this was certainly an incident. So I had a road here recently. It's the white road south of Naivasha, which I thought it kind of looked like, but that road's a north-south angle. Let me go to it real quick. So I had this road recently in a duel, and I thought it looked like this road, the C88. But you can see me like scanning next to the C88 on this road, north of the reserve. And I'm looking at Katui. And then I look at this, and I'm like, oh, big mountain east and mountain west. Does this make sense? And then I switch after the timer's up. And it's right where I was looking. I'm pretty sure I had my marker on the 5k here. I'm pretty sure we were here, and we were looking at this ridge, but I didn't see this ridge on the map. I think, but we had this, yeah, because I didn't see this on the map, because it doesn't show it at terrain mode. I didn't see Mount Suswa either, but, I mean, I probably could have tell. I probably should have been able to tell that it was Mount Suswa, but I was on the 5k, because it looked like this road, so it makes sense to be this road, because this didn't line up, but, yeah, really bad switch for me. I probably should be 5k'ing that, because I'm pretty sure I was on the 5k. Yeah, like, you see where I am. I'm on the 5k, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can look at the game summary potentially later if I'm really bothered to see where the 5k was, but I'm pretty sure it was north of Mount Suswa. So do we actually see Mount Suswa to our south? Do I pan south? Yeah, I guess that is Mount Suswa there. So yeah, I did have the 5k, but I trolled a little bit, but yeah, I lost a lot of points there, unfortunately. Was not ideal. Then we get a South Africa round, and my first thought was Beaufort West area, or Three Sisters area, I'm not sure which one we're closer to. But yeah, thought it was that area just with the mountains. And yeah, we both try and line up the road. We both assume it's the main road because it's, you know, nice pavement, pretty wide shoulder, etc., etc. I think I'm currently clicked on the 5k, but I move off of it. I could be wrong though. But yeah, neither of us find that we both send basically the same thing. And yeah, I think that's where I was. I was definitely northeast of Towers River, and that's the only thing that lines up, so I assume that's where I was. But I didn't see the off-road that we had. And then this round, I was... this round was weird because... Like... Okay, there is. Wait, is there? Is that the second support? Because I was talking to Pan afterwards and some other people, and apparently there was 2 supports on the pole I looked at, but to me this looks like there's 1. Like, it's 1 side, not 2. Like, I don't think that's a support, but maybe it is. It looks like it's just like a loose wire or something. And that's what made me confident that it was Kalimantan. So I was like, okay, it's Kalimantan, it looks kind of south. You know, I'm just gonna click. I mean, it looks kind of flat, so I'm gonna click south. Not it looks kind of south. But I'm just looking at the pole. I'm like, is this really Cali? Yeah, I mean, his guess is probably better than mine because it doesn't really look like Cali. But I just fully trusted the pole, or what I thought was the pole. But this was not a deserved win at all. I mean, yeah, that's his 50-50. He's probably like, because like him and other people thought the pole was Sumatra Sula 50-50, but I just thought the pole was Cali only, so I clicked Cali and win. Like, I'm unbelievably lucky to get the win on Indonesia there. I mean, as you're all aware, I'm so bad at it though. But yeah, very unfortunate for Pan there. He got unlucky with multis, and his guess is probably better than mine because I think I misidentified the pole. But yeah, I don't know. I take the win. You know, not the most deserved, but at least I deserved the moving win. That was something. But yeah, always nice to get a 2-0. Good 3 points there. And yeah, we have Santa Rosalia University campus on that, and I just zoom into it and click it. Yeah, I think I've seen the time before, so I found it basically instantaneously. But yeah, he zoomed into La Paz area, which is fair enough. But yeah, got good points. Very quick send for me. How did I send? Yeah, I sent in 10 seconds. So he probably realized that there was info at spawn after not seeing it. Did he see it at spawn? It says Peninsula Sore. Wait, were we even in Sore? Oh yeah, we were barely. But he didn't see the Santa Rosalia until he goes back. Or did he go back to spawn? I guess he didn't. Or is he looking at it? Oh no, he is looking at it. Okay. But yeah, that was a good start. Unfortunately, no multis, of course. Average me moving around. Yeah. Next lock then, we have Czechia. And I see a road sign here, so I just zoom in to the road sign. We have 437, which I know will be around Borno area. And we have the 57 as well, which is a yellow road, should be. I don't really see it. Like I have the 57 now, and then, yeah, I see the set in there. And then I clicked the intersection with the 437. Although I went southwest to it, so I probably should click slightly northeast of it, but yeah. And we didn't even use the road thing, he just found the city. Fair enough. And yeah, good points there. And then we get a Philippines round. And I have Loon Bohol. Loon doesn't like show up too easily, but I probably should have like, yeah, I should have maybe not sent until I had it because he was probably going to find the same info, but I figured Bohol's not too big. It doesn't really matter too much. Then I got Indonesia. I'm like, okay, Moon knows kind of patterns, I think, and I don't. So I'm a bit concerned, but I was also like, it looks like Bali, so I should be fine. And then I just move here, see the Bali stuff. We do the exact same thing on the exact same building, and then we both descend to the hilly middle of Bali. So yeah, no points there. And then we get to this round. Oh, this round. Yeah, I mean, so we've got a lot of Latin script. I didn't focus too much on the language. I probably should have. But we get to this, right? And we have a lot of Latin script. I don't know if Mu is reading. I think his character comparing the address, or if he's like doing something else. But like, so we have Sonari, Dobo, and Zilri. And if you might be like, okay, what is this Finberg guy doing? Because if we go here, right, you see Sonari. So I'm like, okay, Sonari's next to us. I'm just gonna click a big city next to Sonari that might look like this. But we had Latin script, so I was like, okay, Northeast makes sense. But if you go to here, and we go to here, you see Sonari. That's where we were. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. I was maybe a bit hasty, but yeah, you can also see Dobo is the thing above it here. And I do not see Zilri, but I assume Zilri is somewhere nearby. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's what happened there. And this became, yeah, he's, I think, reading, or else character comparing, or else it says something in Latin script here, and it's too small to read, but yeah, I think, or else he just thinks it looks like Jarkan, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm a bit confused, because I'm like, I clicked Sonari, so why don't I win? But yeah, I probably should have looked at the text properly and realized it wasn't Assamese or Bengali. But yeah, bit unfortunate there. I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I should have focused more on the language rather than just the Latin script. But yeah, it was fine. I wasn't expecting to win the movie anyway. So yeah. And then we get a Mexico round here. I was lucky scared of Argentina at the start. But we had a prickly pair, so yeah. Also, the pole top didn't really look Argentinian, but was slightly scared of it, especially with Sun being slightly north. But he just goes Guadalajara area. I also go somewhat to central Mexico, Guanajuato. It ends up being Durango, which makes sense with the hills, but the cacti is a bit weird, I think. But yeah. And then we had an interesting round here. My very first on this round was Ireland, like instantaneously, like NFPZ blink mode was an Ireland send, but realized we're driving right and the houses make no sense. So then, yeah. Then I went to France because I was like, okay, it looks like Ireland, but we're driving right, so France is the most logical. And then I look at the houses, and then I'm like, feels a bit more Eastern. And if it looks like Ireland in France, usually that's like Brittany, which doesn't really look like this architecture. So I'm like, okay, house look Eastern, I'm gonna go Hungary. And it is France. So yeah, I don't know. 806. I mean, it's west of Paris, which would have been I probably should be sending France there, but it's fine. Then we get a Ukraine round here. And yeah, we both go northeast here. No points really. Just outside of Cherney there. And then next round is an Indonesia round. My dreaded Indonesia. A lot of Indonesia today. This was the third one so far. And yeah, pole top. From the Azuran pole dock, this pole top is most common in West Kalimantan, North Sumatra, Riau, Aceh, and Central Java. And I was like, okay, we've got a pole with a bar sticking up here. I don't know if Moon noticed it, but the middle bar is going up here. So I kind of ruled out Kalimantan with that because I didn't think I've ever seen it in Cali. And also the architecture ruled out Java. So I was like, okay, it's Aceh, North Sumatra, or Riau, I think. But yeah, I think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure it is. Unless I just got really lucky. I mean, I probably did, but yeah, ends up being, I think it's Aceh even on the border. But yeah, one shot him there, even though he was falling. But I mean, it's only 1400, so it's not as if I multi-merchanted cope. But yeah, like if he did all his damage with those multis, I wouldn't have lost anyway. Is what I'm saying. So it's not a multi-merchant technically. Speaking of multi-merchants, no, I mean, this is a fine one. It wasn't too much of a multi-merchant, but it was a wild one. But yeah, saw here, I start off near Durban, and I'm like scared it's more north with the reddish soil, but yeah, ends up being near Mathatha there. Or Kokstad, is that the one? Is Kokstad what I'm thinking it is? Yeah, Kokstad. Anyway, we get Romania with road lines. Yeah, I mean, pole plus road lines being small dashed outers. Yeah, we both like Bucharest. He's east of Bucharest, so he does 100 points, but nothing much there. Slow start to the duel damage-wise. Then we get USA, which I was slightly concerned about. I instantly think it's Kansas, but I'm not sure. I like his. In a hindsight, Oklahoma was better, I guess, than Kansas, but I'm just too scared to commit because I'm like, it's definitely not Texas. Probably not anyway with the pavement, but yes, I was like kind of hedging for Nebraska, but I was between the three. Yeah, then we get a Turkey round here, and I instantly zoom into Samson, and then I remember, oh wait, I think it's Urdu, because I had a lock in Urdu once, I think, and it was on one of these roads here, looking east of the city, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, there's a chance it was Samson, but I'm pretty sure it was Urdu. So I had a lock on one of these roads before, so I knew Urdu had the topography that made sense. So I zoom into Urdu, and I'm like, yeah, it looks okay. But I briefly look at other cities for mountains, and then I look at the angle, but the angle's kind of weird. Like there's not, like it's a bit, because it looks like it curves south, but what it actually does is, we're on this, so it's like this curve. But the road itself doesn't really curve south. The road itself is perfectly straight, but yeah, that's kind of what deceived me a little bit. But yeah, he ends up going west, so I do a lot of points. But yeah, NPC 5K, you always love to see it. Very reminiscent of the FAU, what's it called, 5K in NPC Turkey in the World Cup. In the same region as well. I think his was, what was his? I think it was the town of Artvin, right? If I recall. Or was it? Oh no, it was Borka. It was this roundabout here. Yeah, anyway, enough yapping. We have a Thailand round here. The soil doesn't feel eastern, but it looks eastern, so I just hedge for east. Like the soil, yeah, the soil looks Bangkok, which is what he was probably thinking with his water hedge. But yeah, 3x, I was like, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I won. I was pretty sure I'd won mathematically anyway. And then I take off my headset because, yeah, I don't know. Usually don't take off my headset, but yeah. We do pick up the win there. It would have been nice to get the 3-0 against Moo, but I mean, Moo's a very strong player, so I'm happy with 2 points. I would have been happy with 1 point, especially after 2-0ing Pan. So yeah, but the moving with the Solari or whatever the town was, what was it called? Sonari, yeah. With that incident was a bit unfortunate, but yeah, didn't matter too much because still got the 2-1. And then the Gingey game, I already have 5 points out of 2 games, so even if I get 5 points out of 3 games, that's still a pretty good day, I would say. Like that's 1.667, especially with someone as good as Moo. Because Moo was like 6th on the leaderboard or something, so it's always a good thing to beat Moo. Like getting 5 points out of 3 games in a day where you're against someone in the top 10 is always good, I would say. But yeah, typical Omsk landscape there. Yeah, 119, and I know Gingey's gonna send somewhat quickly, typically. So yeah. Then we get a Denmark round, and I get to this line here with Roskilde on it, which I've heard of, but I briefly forget where it is, and then I click Roskilde with 1 second left, and yeah. With some points, 537, I'll take it. And we get an Australia round, we have Murray Bridge. I didn't actually see the Mount Pleasant sign, which I also knew the name of, but I just clicked the intersection of the B35 and the B10 with Murray Bridge to our east. But yeah, because there's a welcome to Mount Pleasant here that I just didn't see, which would have helped a lot, but yeah, I just try and put on the pressure, so. And yeah, we both basically click downtime, so 16 points, nothing much. And then we get an India round, and I go south here, and I get to something Odisha Police, so I just smack bang in the middle of Odisha. Yeah. And yeah, he went the other way, which is a bit unfortunate for him, I think. But he hedges down towards Telangana. Luckily for him, and unluckily for me, it's like southwest Odisha, so it's as much as it could have been. Because if it was the other side of Odisha, that could have been, way more points. Yeah. Then we get a USA round, and I did not want to get a USA round against Gingey. He's very good at the USA, and I was concerned, especially with the Western USA. He's from California, so I was like, okay, there's a chance he's been here if it's a famous touristy place or anything. But yeah, I get Restaurant Motel, and I think I get the Montana Inn on that sign there. So that I know it's Montana, so I'm like, okay, I can't lose on this round at least. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'm moving for. I was like looking for like if the name of the motel could be like any town name or anything. But yeah, neither of us found a town name. Unless he did, and I didn't see. But he might not. Yeah, he almost switched to Idaho there, which would have been a lot of points for me. But yeah, only 219. And then the next round is an Indonesia round. A lot of Indonesia today. I need more Russias. Yeah. Only one Russia, if I recall, which was the Abakan, I guess, against Pan. But yeah. So he has something. I assume it's South Sumatra is what he had on that. But yeah, they're actually very South Sumatra. I just didn't look at it, unfortunately. I was just looking for province names, to be honest. And yeah, 15 seconds left. And I'm a little bit scared. I think I have the Kabu pattern there, but I don't know it. But I end up going West Sula with the vibe. But yeah, ends up being Southern South Sula. So even though he has the state, he's a bit far away. But yeah, I probably should learn my Kabu patterns at some stage. But yeah, that was fine. Then we get a Philippines round, which is, you know, always scary with 4x, especially when you're winning. Especially when it's a rural round. Urban, I feel a bit better about, but like rural, it's like, okay, if I go the wrong way and it's 30 seconds the other direction, I lose the game instantly because it's Philippines or rural. It's very hard to reach and guess, and info is a guaranteed 5k. Like any piece of, like, as soon as you get info in Philippines, you either 5k or it's useless and nothing in between. Like you either know all the info you see or else you don't know it. Just because it's like remote learning provinces, which is, yeah, it's not my favorite type of info. It's like, okay, you either know the info or you can't find it on the map. It's a bit, I don't know. I prefer things that are like scannable with region guesses because, like, you know, if I like, yeah, if I thought it was Mindanao, I could scan for like, you know, Bukidnon or something, but it doesn't really show on the map. Then we get Alice Springs. I'm just like, okay, it's Alice Springs. I'm gonna instant. Maybe he'll miss it. He could go something else, but yeah, it's kind of hard to miss Alice Springs in a no move round even. So yeah, was east side of town. I mean, his guess is better than mine because I clicked in the picnic garden. But yeah, we'll take the few points there. Then we get another Philippines round, and I miss that it says Negros Occidental on this. It has the full address here. I don't see it somehow. I'm looking at everything else. I'm trying to read this stuff, and I'm looking at this, but I just didn't. I'm trying to read this as well. And then wait, I didn't even see that. Well, that's actually crazy for me. That's really poorly played. If he like found that earlier, I definitely would have lost the game. But yeah, I have Negros Occidental, which is West Negros, and then he gets the sign I had, and then he sees Negros Occidental on this, or maybe this. But yeah. No points there. And then round 10 was hoping for an easy round, but always scary. I see it Australia, I'm like, oh no, it's a big country. Then I'm like, okay, there's a sign. And it says Hamilton on the sign, which is this town in Western Victoria. And then we're surprisingly far away from Hamilton. Like I just don't see I didn't even see the B140 for a while. It didn't show up for a while. But yeah, he just sends what's it called? Oh, he had Geelong on a sign. Interesting. If he clicked downtown Geelong, that could have been really bad for me because I think he wins. If he sends downtown Geelong, because I am 450 multiplied by 5.5. Yeah, if he 5Ks, I have most certainly lost that game. But yeah, definitely was losable. I probably should have found the road number, but yeah, it was very inefficient scanning for me. And then we go into the no move. I'm very scared. I'm more scared of Gingey no move than moving. But yeah, he starts off northeast and he's like, maybe try to scratch. And I just like thought, okay, it looks like West Coast, but I don't know how to reach and guess West Coast. So I'm just hedging between Maharashtra and Karnataka because it's probably one of the two in my opinion. But yeah, ends up being close to Mumbai there. So 1400 could have been more. I probably should have clicked Maha. Probably didn't feel tropical enough to be further south, but it's fine. But yeah, average no multis round 1400 points of damage. And then an Iceland round. I don't know what Gingy's doing with his map. Is he playing on trackpad or something? But yeah, I just start scanning this area because it looks like this area. I feel like I've seen some roads like this. And yeah, I'm just scanning and then scanning. And then I'll go this road, which ends up being the right peninsula, but we had like stuff to our east close, and I was like, that doesn't really make sense, does it? So then I move last second, but I shouldn't have moved, but I wanted to hedge all of these peninsulas because realistically they're all the same. But yeah, it was more good points because he went more east. But yeah, 3,000 points of damage in 2 rounds. Very unfortunate if I was to lose this game because with any multis that would already be GG. Or not any multis, but with anything like above 2.5, I guess. But yeah, we get an Argentina around here. Kind of looks like Uruguay to me, so I was like considering clicking it into Rios, but ends up being more south. Very nice guess from Gingey. I don't know, that did not look like south to me, but yeah, impressive pickup. Then next time we have Switzerland with the Locam. And then we have German on this same music. And yeah, I just try and line up a valley, but not too successful in my lineup. But I think I actually got the right valley, but my guess doesn't really make too much sense. But yeah, he's trying to line up a valley as well, but he ends up committing a lot further east, which ends up being pretty good points for me for Switzerland standards, like 800 points. That's pretty good. But yeah, now I got a massive lead. Going to around 6 of it, or 5 rather, yeah. And then we have a white sticker on the pole, which I assume to be Germany, because white stickers on the pole are usually Germany, Italy, Romania, Greece, plus sometimes other ones, but those are the main ones. And then we also have Baltic Pine, so it's like, okay, Berlin makes a lot of sense. And yeah, we both end up clicking downtown Berlin. Basically, he goes a bit north, I go towards Brandenburg, just in case it's more west. But yeah, it was north, so he does 408, but nothing too much there. Then this was a scary round. For some reason, I thought it could be Kenya, because the card blur looks kind of weird. Which would not have been good if I sent Kenya on this, for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm like, okay, South Africa. It looks like South Africa. He's in South Africa as well. But I was just scared of Kenya. But I probably shouldn't have been, but it happens. But yeah, I'm just like, looks like Limpopo or something. But I think I zoom out to Kenya, but I don't think I was gonna switch, but because the card blur wasn't weird enough to be what's it called, to be Kenya, but yeah, he ends up hedging towards Gaborone, ends up being Botswana, so I lose a lot of points even though we're both in the wrong country, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, in hindsight, Gaborone makes a lot of sense. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's fine. Then we get a coastal Peru round, which is the hardest thing to region guess in Geoguessr. Yeah, so he starts off in Trujillo, Chimbote, and Chiclayo, and Piura. I start off in Trujillo because it's hard to see, but we do have a massive mountain east, and I mean massive. It's kind of hard to see it. I don't know if we'll get a proper view of it. If I pause on it again, there's something there. I think. Oh no, it's there. There's the mountain. I'm pretty sure anyway. It ends up being, you'll see where it ends up being, but it checks out to have a massive mountain as well. But yeah, everything fit. I thought Trujillo, Tuktuk's more north, mountain east equals click Trujillo, because if you look at the topography of the north of Peru, if you look at this, it's like, okay, mountain very close east, massive. Okay, Trujillo makes the most sense. Chimbote doesn't really make sense because it's not this mountain, and then these are too far away. And then no other big enough city, really. Chiclayo, it's too far away. Piura, very flat. Solana, very flat. So yeah, Trujillo made the most sense to me. But ends up being Ica, which, has the same thing with big mountains east, very close. But yeah, I don't know. Average Peru, urban, coastal after they diabolical. But yeah, Tuktuk's supposed to be more north, but evidently not. But yeah, not the most deserved win to win on that. But unfortunate for Gingey there. But to be fair, I did 3,000 damage before round 3, so would have been unfortunate to lose that as my cope. But yeah, 2-0 at 2-1 and a 2-0 was a very successful day. I was hoping to get 6 points today. That was like my goal that I'd be happy with. But ended up getting 8, which is kind of insane. Especially when against Moo. But yeah, these are the standings now. So we can see I'm 8 overall, but I have a game less than Harrier, and I have 3 games less than Moo. So when you count for points per game, I am ahead of Harrier and I'm right behind Moo. This is currently a spreadsheet from last week. It's not updated because maybe it is updated. Is it updated? No, it isn't. But as you can see from last week, I was on 1.85. Harrier was 1.86. But I think he won his game today, or yesterday rather. So he went up a little bit. But yeah, average opponent you have to play. I think. So who did I play? I played Pan, who's on 1.5. I played Ginger, who's on 1.4. And I played Moo, who's on 2. So yeah, that was an above average day for me in terms of opponent, because Moo brings up the average by a good bit, to about like 1.7, I guess. So yeah, that was, it's always good to get like I got 2.6666 recurring points against a higher than average opponent. So in theory, if I was to get above 2.66 against easier opponents, that would be, theoretically what will happen. But maybe it's a bit too hopeful to average above that, because it's very hard to get the 2-0s, of course. But yeah, I was happy with my performance. I made my own spreadsheet here, with just points per game. I quickly got ChatGPT to give me the points and games of the players, because the way it's what's it called? You can't copy paste from this easily. So I was like, okay, ChatGPT, do it for me, thank you. And then I just did the formatting and stuff myself, but got the points and games from that. But yeah, as you can see, I'm up to 7th. I'm right behind Moo, like basically tied with him. Yeah, at 0.0061 behind him. And then captain, I'm slightly further ahead of him than I am behind Moo, but yeah, us three are incredibly close. My goal would be to end above captain, of course, but I'm not sure how likely that is. Yeah, and then I got a decent lead over Harrier as well compared to last week. But yeah, 9 games left in the league. I have Feneb and Lero next week, which if you look at my average 1.5, and if we go to this, obviously it's slightly out of date, but 1.8 and 1.5. So if my average is that, then it's another above average day for me. Because my remaining opponents, I have, who do I have? I have, in terms of points per game in order, I have Fao is my highest. Oh no, Sheena. Wait, no, I have Mada and Sheena. Okay, so Mada and Sheena are my 2 highest. I think that's on the 6th of April. Wait. Don't quote me on that. I think Mada and Sheena are the 6th. Feneb and Lero. So Lero's very high. Feneb is middle of the pack. They'll be next week, and then the week after Feneb Lero is Skillishu Orlando. So Skillishu relatively low down, Orlando the same. So that should be hopefully a fine week for me. And then the week after that is Anu Swan Gambit, which should hopefully also be fine. So yeah, like of the let me highlight. So I have this, 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 this. Is that 9? No, that's 8. Who am I missing? What? Who did I miss? F5. F5's the last day. So yeah, that's my remaining schedule. So yeah, a few top of the pack, a few middle of the pack, and then 3 towards the bottom of the pack. So I'm hoping to end up with like 2.0 average points per game by the end of it. I mean, the goal is just to stay ever so slightly ahead of captain, which it's possible. If you look at captain's difficulty, 1.546 compared to my 1.45. So in theory, he's got slightly harder. But unfortunately, if we tie, he won the head-to-head. So a bit unfortunate for me. Although I think he... Wait, who did he play last week? I can check, actually. I think his average probably went down a bit. Yeah, he Feneb and Clement and Anu. So, I guess his average probably stayed about the same, because Clement's, equal to his average, or was. Feneb is about equal to the average, and then Anu is... Yeah, so I guess he was up against below average. But, yeah, hopefully he starts losing. No, I mean, no disrespect to captain, but of course, every man for themselves in this event. And yeah, well, in the top 12 anyway. Every man for themselves, because it is fighting for our lives here, it feels like. But yeah, if we go back to this then, anything else I have to say about this? I mean, yeah, the games will be hopefully going my way. But what am I saying? Yeah, so 9 games left, hopefully ending at 2.0 points per game. I mean, there's a chance like I can pass out MK even. I like to pass out Moo because it gives me a little safety net. Because in theory, if Moo ends above me, and let's say Fau gets third in the major, then Fau will pass me out. In theory. Although he's like borderline 15 points behind me, so he might need more than 15. We'll see though. So yeah, in theory, I'd like to be ahead of Moo just in case. Because it's like if Fao passes me, I'd like to be ahead of Moo. I wouldn't want them to both be ahead of me. It's like the safety net. Because in theory, Radu MK should be the top two. But Moo is pretty similar to MK in terms of points per game at the moment. So yeah, and also Debray, the GOAT himself, has skyrocketed in terms of points per game. Getting 3 trios. That's my GOAT. Yeah, so the goal was last week was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna catch Debray, but then this guy was like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. So yeah, I mean it doesn't really like if Debray wins like or gets top 4 at the major, it makes no difference to me anyway, because and if he plays as he is playing, then he is going to get top 4. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah, bro is absolutely cooking. But yeah, and then also I need to look at how close Australians are to me that aren't Zigzag Lero. So I'd like to stay ahead of both of them. So then it's a maximum of 3 Australians that can pass me, because only 3 of them get points. And I guess my Lero game will be quite important for deciding that, allegedly. And then who is the next highest? Sheena. Yeah, so Sheena's going to be within 15 points of me. So yeah, I would ideally not like to get passed out by 3 of them. So if someone like Eamon or Feneb or Crania or Spaghetti, so I think Crania Spaghetti are like fighting for their lives in the APAC, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so Eamon's got less games played than them, but when you adjust for them having 5 points in 2 games being the difference, so they're fighting for their lives there. So, but if one of them gets the 15 points, then they don't pass me. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, I guess. It's possible. It's not too likely, but it's possible that only 2 people from APAC pass me, which I guess is the goal. And then, yeah, Americas, I mean, I've said this every other week. Like, I just need the people above me to win, and the people below me to not get enough points to pass me, or else, like, you get what I'm saying. Do I have anything else to yap about? I think that's everything. Yeah, it should be a lot fun. Actually, I guess I can look at my opponent's matchup. So, Captain has Gingey, Skillishu, Kratsu, Fau. Okay, what's next week? Okay, next week he has these 2. So slightly easier matchup than mine would be, because he doesn't have Lero. And then I guess I can look at Moo. Moo has Blinky. Okay, well, that's good for me. He might go down, potentially. And then MK, who could also go down below me. I mean, can he? Yeah, MK can definitely drop below me. It's definitely possible. He is Sad Dupan, so no Blinky, of course, but And then who else matters a lot? Harrier, I guess, matters. Yeah, Harrier's the next problem. Look at Harrier. He has Oscar, Karania, Sheena. Okay, Oscar's pretty high in points per game, so could be a loss there. And then, yeah, I think Debray's just going to keep cooking everybody. I mean, he's got Consus left on Radu. So maybe Debray's catchable, but, I mean, bro's playing so well, and he just went up so much that I doubt it. But, if he starts fumbling the bag, I'm not trying to manifest it for you, Debray, if you're watching this, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're going to keep going. If you're just 3-0ing everybody, then, like, I don't know. His results, like, if you look at his schedule, right? Rough start. 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. Or no. So 4-0-2 losses. Oh no. Wait, no. 3 out of 4. And then, yeah. And then he just starts like cooking like Look at this, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Like, it's insane. Bro has been, yeah, bro's been playing out of his mind. Shout out Debray. But yeah, maybe he'll fall down, but unlikely. I think at the moment my goal is to stay above Captain, Harrier, and Stefan, who are the closest people in Europe to me. And if I stay above them, I like my chances for the World Cup, to be honest. I like my chances more if I also stay above Lero and Oscar, but yeah, and same with Moo. If I stay above Moo, that also helps my chances. But as I've been saying, it's top 12 after the majors. First place in the major gets 40, second is 25, third is 15, and then fourth in the EMEA is 5 and 0 for fourth in the others. So it means if I am, let's say I am fifth in Europe, or I guess I'm currently in fourth in Europe, right? So Debray, Blinky, Consus. So if I'm fourth in Europe, and let's say 3 Americas are above me, which are these 3, which would assume that no one below gets more than the points needed. Fire needs about 15 points, and he's next. So let's say none of them get their 15. Then 3 above me in Americas. So now I'm 7th, because, you know, I'm 4th in Europe, 3 in Americas above me. And then let's say worst case scenario, 3 in APAC. I mean, in theory, worst case scenario is 4 in APAC if Lero passes me and Zigzag passes me. But in theory, like, if Lero passes me, he's probably going to get top 3 in APAC anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference. It'd still be 3 above me. So then there's 3 in APAC, 3 in Americas, 4 in Europe. So now I'm 10th, which means that if 2 people pass me, I'm still 12th. So 4 people in Europe get points. So if 2 of them are already above me, then I stay top 12. Therefore, if one of, I guess, including me, if let's say I'm in the semifinals or the quarterfinals, because top 4 get a buy into the quarterfinals, I think, eligibly, assuming based off of how many people are playing with 12 people. But yeah, so if I'm in 10th and then let's say Blinky and Consus both win their game, I'm instantly through before playing my game, which would be ideal. And yeah, my semi-final would be against Blinky if I'm in 4th, I think, or Consus, depending on, because I think it would be 4th against 1st, 2nd against 3rd. But as long as I win, if I win that first game, I'm basically guaranteed, I think. So yeah, hopefully that will happen. But I think I'll probably be against the person in 5th, which is a bit unfortunate because Captain is very good. Yeah, we'll see. But even if like Captain beats me in that game in the quarterfinal, as long as like even if Captain goes above me, I need someone else. Yeah, like 2 people need to get points. But as long as Blinky, Consus, Debray, 2 of them win their games, or I win, then I'm chilling. But yeah, enough yapping. It's already been 47 minutes. That will be it for the video, I suppose. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and peace.